Hello! Welcome to a bonus episode of the Genuine Ginger Experience. I am your hostess, Mackenzie Quintana, and I share how or why or what it looked like for me to go from living a life where I was just kind of surface level happy to living a life that I truly enjoy. And this is kind of a spontaneous. Literally, I was just sitting, having my morning me time of just kind of reflecting and stuff. And I was like, I need to do a Thanksgiving episode. I didn't plan ahead to schedule one. I wasn't planning on doing one, period. And I want to, so I'm going to do it now. And we may or may not have an episode next week. This may count as next week's episode. It may not. We'll see. It is the day before Thanksgiving right now, and I just wanted to share a quick little message with you and an invitation with you for this Thanksgiving season. And yes, I want it to be a season for you, not just a day, and for me as well. This is every bit for me, and I don't have like anything written down or anything. This is literally just what's coming through. But I was sitting there and I was thinking about gratitude, and I was thinking about, actually, I was just going to get on my Instagram stories and share this. And then I was like, no, I want to share this on my podcast. So, if you're not following me on Instagram, I do chat about a lot of this kind of stuff in my stories, also on Facebook, but Instagram is kind of my jam. So the.genuine.ginger is my Instagram handle, or you can find me on Facebook. It's just Mackenzie Quintana. So I was sitting there thinking about gratitude. I don't remember how my mind went there. And I was thinking about just yesterday, and the day before, I was kind of feeling in a little bit of a funky energy. And yesterday, I was still kind of in the energy, and I was like, okay, enough. I'm done. I'm done with this funky energy. I don't want to, I'm done. And I had the thought before to what which this little side note here, the day before that, I had the thought, like, or maybe it was last week, I don't know. I had the thought, like, a good tool, a good practice when you're feeling in a funk, to help you kind of get out of that funk, is to ask your heart what it wants, like, in that moment, and also to ask your heart what it knows. And so I had done that yesterday, and that helped me just kind of get back in the present moment, because I was in a lot of like worrying about future stuff and past stuff, and just not being in the moment, right? Like they say, I saw something recently that said, like, the 2 days out of the year that you can not, wow, I'm totally butchering this, but where you can't do anything to change your circumstances, something like that, is yesterday and tomorrow. And so I realized that I was like future tripping. I was, getting all caught up in like what if and this and that and the other, instead of just like focusing on the now. And in fact, I am really doing awesome in the now. Like, I have everything I need right now in this moment. And so that helped me then focus on shifting into gratitude. I had been kind of in this downward spiral of thinking, like, of all the things that weren't working, and all the things that weren't going the way that I thought they were going to go, and the things that I didn't have, and just yada, 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 all that. And so, and I know that is not helpful. That does not put me in a good energy. It doesn't help me be joy-filled. That was how I lived my life before, and it didn't help me. So I decided right then, in that moment yesterday, I don't remember when it was, early morning or not, mid-morning sometime anyways, that I was going to just practice focusing on all the good, everything and anything that was working for me. And as simple as like looking at I have a Christmas tree up, but we call it a thankful tree. We put like fall leaves on it, and we have leaves that we write down things that we're grateful for each day, and we put them on the tree. And so I was just looking at my thankful tree and like just feeling how like I appreciated it and thought it was just really pretty and loved that fun little tradition that we have as a family. And just I honestly, like, this little practice didn't last long. I intended for it to, like, me to do this all day long, and I didn't really. It kind of lasted, I don't know, maybe half an hour, sorry, of me just noticing the things. But even just that half an hour or however long it was that I was just a little bit more intentional about noticing the things that were going right and noticing the things that I already have that were such a blessing, made like such a huge shift, completely turned me around. Like, I mean, which literally, like, I was in a downward spiral of like focusing on all the negative, and to just start focusing on the good things took me completely in the other direction, and it completely changed the trajectory of my day and honestly probably the rest of my week. And so I just want, I've talked about gratitude a little bit here and there on this podcast, in other episodes, but gratitude, I'm just going to briefly talk about it again. Gratitude is so much more impactful than just feeling thankful. Then, like, for me, I grew up in religion where gratitude was just, it was almost kind of like a commandment, like, be grateful. Like, that was just like, it was like a box that I needed to check of like, oh yeah, count my blessings, name them one by one. Like, that's a song that we sing in my church. And so it was kind of one of those like task like things in my brain of like, oh yeah, I gotta be grateful. Okay, these are all the things that I have that I'm grateful for. Okay, the end. But true gratitude, the kind of gratitude that changes you, like I experienced yesterday in such a simple yet profound way, is the gratitude that you really let sink into your whole being, and you really just linger in that feeling of gratitude. And so I feel like I kind of expressed this in my episode a couple weeks ago, where my gift to you episode, where I kind of walked you through a day of looking at things differently. And I feel like one of the biggest shifts in that little gift that I gave you, that little different way of looking at things, was gratitude. It was, instead of just seeing the things that you have, recognizing how amazing it is that you have the things that you have, that you are the person that you are, that you have the life that you have, and letting that emotion fill you. And so my invitation to you, as you just this whole holiday season, honestly, like, if you can, or as just much as you can, like, I don't want this to just be something that you do on Thanksgiving Day or, Thanksgiving week. I want you to just play around with being like almost obnoxiously grateful. Like, and you don't have to necessarily express it if you don't want to. I would invite you to express it, just make kind of a game out of it, to just be over the top grateful for everything and anything. Like, oh my gosh, there's no clouds. I'm looking at my window right now. There's no clouds in the sky. Like, holy cow, that is so amazing. I am so grateful that, like, there's zero clouds in the sky right now. Like, how awesome is that? Or maybe it is cloudy where you're at, and like, oh my gosh, I am just so grateful that there's clouds today. Like, clouds bring such beauty to the sky, and they, like, bring unknown to the weather, and like, oh my goodness, I'm just so grateful for clouds. Or maybe you're going to your relative's house for Thanksgiving, and just, oh my gosh, I am so grateful that this relative that I have is opening her home to me so that I can come. And maybe you're going with your family or whatever it is. Like, oh my gosh, like, what a huge thing that is for them to do that for me. And I'm just so grateful. And it's like, the food is just so delicious. And like, Black Friday is right there, and a lot of times Black Friday we are thinking about all the things that we want or that we don't have. Like, don't go there. Like, just don't feel like you have to buy all the things. Just be so grateful for the things that you have. Oh my gosh, I have a couch that I can sit on, and it's a couch, and it's in my living room, and I get to sit on it whenever I want. Like, I can just come in and sit on my couch. Like, just be overly over the top grateful, and just play around with it. Just experiment with it, and just notice the joy that it brings into your life. And I remember having this epiphany a few years back where, like, how beautiful it is that we're invited by this holiday of Thanksgiving, of expressing gratitude, to put our hearts in that grateful energy. And then we go straight into Christmas. Well, maybe not straight into, but then I feel like now it's just kind of like the holiday and the Christmas season are just like all one big holiday season. And how beautiful that then Christmas, I feel like, is meant to be focused on the joy that Christ brings into our lives, and just joy. Like, and so how beautiful that I feel like gratitude is one of the easiest ways to find joy, and to get our hearts in a place where we can feel joy. And so how beautiful that it's set up that way, where we can have a holiday that we're focused on gratitude and feeling gratitude, and then that just sets us up perfectly to lead into a holiday of joy and of course gratitude and kindness and generosity and all of the things. So that is my invitation for you, and I hope that you can feel abundance in your life. I hope that you can feel, and maybe you're not experiencing the abundance of certain things that you would like to be experiencing, like maybe money. But I know that there are things that you are abundant in. My sister shared a question on her social media the other day that was like, list the things that you are abundant in. And it was anything from, decks of cards, that I have so many cards that I see abundance in, or rocks that are in my gravel driveway, or whatever. Like just, you have abundance in your life. And the more that you can focus on the abundance that you do have, the more joy that you can experience, and the more abundance that you can bring. And I just love you. And I just hope that you can experience the joy and the gratitude that I have experienced, that brings me so much joy and fulfillment. And I'm going to stop rambling, and I hope you have a wonderful season. We'll talk to you next week.